Does your self-directed IRA need to file a tax return? 99.9% of the time, the answer is no, you don't need to file a tax return for your self-directed IRA. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Number one, each and every year, your self-directed IRA custodian, the fancy trust company you use to set up the retirement plan, they have to file something called a 5498 with the IRS. And the 5498 is going to explain to the IRS what's the value of your IRA, what type of IRA it is, and what the IRA is invested in, if there's alternative investments or not. So that is filed each and every year with the IRS. You don't have to worry about it though. That's all done by your custodian. Now, some of you might be flipping real estate. Some of you might have debt inside your IRA and you're making a profit. And if you meet one of those two classifications, if you're running an active business inside your IRA or you have debt inside the IRA and you're making a profit from it, then you're going to have to file something called a 990T. That's only going to apply to maybe 5% of you out there though. But otherwise, your IRA doesn't need to file a tax return. Oh, and by the way, let's go a step further. Let's say that you have an IRA LLC and now you have an LLC wrapped up inside of there. Is the LLC going to need to file a tax return? The answer is no in most situations. In most situations, LLCs are considered disregarded. All the tax ramifications flow down to the owner. The owner's the IRA. Since the IRA is tax exempt, it doesn't need to file a tax return unless you're flipping the real estate inside there, running an active business inside the LLC, or had the debt. Then the IRA is going to have to file a tax return for the activities of the LLC. Now, in some states, you got Texas, you got California, those are the ones right off the top of my head. In some states, you're going to have to file an information return for the LLC, but it's not going to be a tax return for the feds. So, going back to the basic question, for federal income tax reporting purposes, does your IRA have to file a tax return? The answer is the only time the IRA will have to file a tax return is if you're running an active business or if you have debt inside that IRA and you're making a profit. Otherwise, it's not going to have to file a tax return. If you have an LLC inside your IRA, then the LLC is probably going to have to file an information return in some states. And let me rephrase that. In some states, the LLC is going to have to file an information return. Oh, one other quick one. If your IRA is involved in a partnership, make sure that partnership files a 1065 and the IRS has its K1. But just make sure that the partnership files the proper return, because the penalties for that can get pretty big pretty fast if you don't file a partnership return. I know that's a bit confusing, but bottom line, if you have questions, you have concerns, give us an email, send us a phone call. We're more than happy to help you out. Thank you very much.